The name of the story is Fisherman's Flute. Once upon a time, there was a fisherman. He was very good in playing the bamboo flute. He would sit beside the bank of the pond and play his flute very sweetly. When he played his flute, even the animals gathered around him to hear the sweet notes coming out of his flute. One day, fisherman thought to himself,
"Oh, if I can make the animals come around due to my sweet flute playing, why don't I try the same magic on the fish?"
So he decided that he would catch the fish with his sweet flute. So, one day, he sat near the pond again and played his sweet flute for the fish. He played for a long time. He played very sweetly, but all of his efforts were in vain, because no fish came even near to the fisherman. At last, he got bored, and then he thought to himself,
"Let me try my old way."
So he threw the net in the pond, and in few minutes he could gather a good amount of fish in his net. That is when the fisherman realized that he has to use right tools for right work. He used music to gather the fish, which really did not work. But the minute he used the net, the heap of fish was his. So the moral of the story: use right tools for right work. The name of the story is The Crab and the Fox. Once upon a time, there lived a crab in a river. As you all know, river or water is crab's natural home. But this crab was always complaining. He always complained,
"Oh, I have to live in this water. I cannot go on the ground. There is so much of beautiful lush green grass and flowers on the ground. Oh, why do I have to always live in water? Oh, I want to enjoy all that life on the ground."
so he will never be happy and always complain about his current situation. One day, he decides to come out of water and enjoy all the beauty on the ground. So, as he moves around on the ground, he enjoys the lush green grass, smell of the flower, but that only for a while. Because all of a sudden, there comes a fox. He gets the sight of this crab and gets very happy, because he always wanted to eat the crab for his meal, but never could get into water to get and kill one crab. Now here is the crab, ready-made available for the fox to eat. So the fox did not even waste a moment, grabbed the crab. As he was about to eat the crab said to himself,
Oh, I made such a big mistake coming out of water. I could have been saved if I would have been in the water. Fox could never come to me. Oh, I'm so foolish to come on the ground.
But it was too late. Fox enjoyed the beautiful meal of the crab and went away happily. Moral of the story: never complain about your current surroundings or situation. Maybe that is the best place for you to be. The name of the story is Clever Snake and Foolish Crow. Once upon a time, a crow was flying hither and thither in search of food. The winter season was at its height and cool north wind was blowing. Crow was flying calmly in that cool breeze. He became hungry and suddenly he saw a snake laying on the ground, curled up and not moving at all. Actually, the snake was sunbathing due to the extreme cold, and it lay quiet and motionless on the ground. Seeing the snake not moving at all, the crow thought to himself,
Oh, I found good food for me. I'm going to eat the snake today. What a yummy meal!
So he swooped down and carried it away in his claws. He decided to fly and take the snake where he could make it into pieces and eat it all away. He did not want any share from any other crow or bird. But snake was very sharp. It knew that the crow was on its back and crow is going to take it away. But it did not move and allow the crow to come closer. And as the crow was about to take a bite, the snake raised up its head and threw a spray of poison on crow's face. The snake was very poisonous, and the spray of this poison proved to be fatal, and crow died instantly. Crow said,
How fool I am. I believed the deception of this snake and believed that the snake was dead. Oh, I should have thought.
So now, instead of snake becoming the prey of crow, actually, crow became the prey. The moral of the story is appearance can be deceptive, and be alert to know the truth.
The name of the story is Sick Lion and Clever Fox.
Once upon a time, there was a forest. There was a lion living in the forest. When he was young, he would kill his prey whenever he was hungry. But after a few years, that lion had grown old and he could no longer kill his own prey. So he started starving. So he thought to himself one day,
"Oh, I have gone so old that I cannot kill my own prey. What I can do now? What should I do for me to get my food?"
Then all of a sudden, he thought of an idea. He thought of resorting to cunning and lie. So he would pretend to be ill and sit in front of his cave and tell every animal that he is sick and they should come and visit him and inquire about his health. The lion put a wicked plan into practice, and animals actually started visiting the lion. He would welcome all of them and would thank them for coming initially. He would tell the animals,
"Oh, thank you, my friend, that you came to check my health. But I am so sick and old that I cannot even lift my paw. Can you help me and go inside the cave and bring my medicine?"
so the animal who would visit him would get into his cave. As soon as animal is inside his cave, lion will go inside and kill that animal, and he would eat that animal as his food. Again next day, he would do the same thing. He would come out, sit in front of his cave, waiting for the next animal. Day by day, every animal that would come and pay visit to this lion started disappearing from the forest. There was a clever fox. He realized that his friends who paid visit to the lion never came back. So he thought to himself,
What this lion is doing? I must see, and I must check it out. What's the matter here?
So he went and paid visit to this lion. As usual, this lion was waiting for his next prey. He saw this fox and he invited him over. He said,
"Oh, dear fox, so nice of you to have come and paid visit to me. Oh, I am so sick and old. Can you do me a favor, please?"
The fox replied to him,
Yes, Mr. Lion. I can definitely help you. What do you want me to do?
The lion said,
Oh, my dear fox, I have become so sick that I cannot even get up from here. Can you please go inside my cave and bring me my medicines?
Fox thought to himself, yes, this would be his trap. Then he looked around the cave. He saw that there was the footmarks of animals only going inside the cave. He never saw any footmark which is showing that any animal has come out of the cave. He smartly understood the move and the intention of this lion and said to him, "Oh, my friend lion, how is it that I can only see the footprints of my friend animals going inside your cave and not coming out? If everybody who came to you is inside the cave, oh, I don't believe that." At that time, Lion realized that Fox has understood his evil intentions. And then he tried to defend himself, saying,
Oh, no, Fox. I have removed all those marks from the ground.
But this explanation was in vain. Fox could realize that Lion was telling a lie. So he told the lion, "Oh, my dear friend lion, I know you're lying. And I know that you have killed all my fellow animals who paid visit to you. Now this will not happen anymore. I will go to the jungle and alarm everybody so that nobody will come to you. Remember, the life would not long for a long time." That way, Fox went back to the jungle and told everybody that they should not visit the lion if they love their life. Otherwise, lion would just kill them with his lie. From that day onwards, no animal paid visit to the lion, and lion actually starved to death. Moral of the story is, never lie to people for your selfish motives. Otherwise, in the end, you will be left alone with your misery.
The name of the story is Three Bulls and a Cheetah.
Once upon a time, in a forest, there lived 3 bulls. All of the bulls were very strong. All 3 of them had a very good friendship. They will always move around together. They will eat together. They will play together. And they will always be together whenever and wherever they go. So although they were in the forest, no other animal, including the lion and the tiger, could dare to attack them, because they knew that whoever would attack any one of them, all of them would come together and fight against the attacker. so nobody would think of going in their way. One day, a cheetah thought,
Those 3 bulls look like a good prey. I think I should eat them alive.
but then he thought,
How I can attack them if they're always together? I have to do something about it.
Then he took help from a wicked jackal and devised a plan. Jackal went to one of the bulls and he said to the bull,
Oh, my dear bull friend, how are you? I have a very good plan for you.
The bull asked.
What is it, my friend Jackal? Tell me.
Jackal said,
I know a place where you can find lush green grass to eat.
The bull was very happy. It said,
Great, my friend Jackal. Let me also call my other 2 friends, and all of us will go there and have good time.
No, my friend. That cannot be possible.
Why? Why it's not possible?
Because only one bull can eat that grass. So if you want, I can take you there secretly and you can have good food.
that bull thought to himself,
This is a good opportunity for me to have good meal. Why don't I go with Jackal and have some good time myself?
he went with Jackal, and there was this cheetah waiting for his prey. As bull came, he just attacked the bull and killed him. And then he had lot of flesh to eat. It was a great meal for cheetah. Then next day, Jackal went to another bull. It said,
Oh, my friend. Where is your other friend? I don't see him. I always saw 3 of you together. What happened?
We don't know, but he is not with us since yesterday. He never told us where he went.
Oh, so he must have cheated you.
No. We are good friends. We don't cheat each other.
Jackal said,
You don't believe me? Why don't one of you come and see that he is eating lush green grass in a place just near to this place?
They did not believe him. But Jackal said,
Oh, leave it if you don't believe me. But that friend is cheating you. You should be aware.
If that is the case, we should also go and see what this other bull is doing. Let me go and check it out.
So that bull went with the jackal, and there was this cheetah waiting for the second bull. He also attacked this bull and ate his flesh. It was another good meal for cheetah. Now the third bull was alone. There was no need for any plan for attacking the third bull. So cheetah went to this third bull the next day, attacked the third bull. That way, cheetah was able to eat away all the 3 bulls. Moral of the story: unity has strength, and don't break your unity on anyone's advice. The name of the story is The Wolf and the Crane. Once upon a time, in a jungle, there lived a wolf. He was lucky once to get hold of a nice dinner. He sat in his place and started to eat. Although there was a lot of food, he did not want to share the food with anyone else. He was a very selfish wolf. So as he was eating so hurriedly that a small piece of bone got stuck in his throat. He tried a lot. He gargled hard. He could not swallow the bone, or he could not spit it out. It was very awkward and it was itching his throat all the time. More he tried to get the bone out, more and more it got stuck. So now he got scared and started thinking to himself,
This bone is stuck in my throat. How am I going to take it out? I cannot even breathe.
Suddenly, he remembered that his friend Crane, who lived just nearby, could help him. He thought to himself,
My friend Crane has a long neck and the beak. I think he can take out that bone from my throat.
So he went to the crane and said,
Oh, my friend, I have a bone stuck in my throat. Can you please take it out? I will be so obliged. I'll be so thankful to you.
So the crane put his neck into the throat of the wolf and took the bone out. Then Crane said to the wolf,
Oh, my friend, now I helped you, didn't I? So now can you share a little food of yours with me?
As you know, the wolf was very selfish. He did not want to share his food. So he came out with an argument and he said to the crane,
Oh, Crane, just be thankful that I did not eat you alive when you put your neck into my mouth. I could have just eaten you alive with your neck in my mouth. So just thank me that I did not eat you.
The crane was very disappointed and he said to the wolf,
Oh, wolf, this is not how the friendship is fulfilled. If you are so selfish, we cannot have the friendship. So, from today onwards, I will not be your friend at all.
From that day onwards, because of the selfishness of the wolf, he lost his long-time friend, the crane. Moral of the story is, you should not be too selfish to lose friend, and you never disappoint anyone who has helped you in your difficulty.
The name of the story is Two Frogs in the Buttermilk.
Once upon a time, there was a village. In the village, there was a milkman's house. That milkman would culture his milk every day into the curd, then into the buttermilk, and from the buttermilk, he would take away butter every day. One day, he left the buttermilk in a pot and left for some work. There were two frogs in the near-about garden who were just moving around in the garden, and from the window they came into the house. Those two frogs saw this buttermilk pot and thought that it would be food in it. So they jumped in the pot. In the pot, they found themselves swimming in the buttermilk. Both of them were struggling very hard to come out of this buttermilk pot, but it was in vain. One of the frogs lost all its hopes, said to himself,
Oh, I am so tired of swimming endlessly in this buttermilk. I don't think I am ever going to get out of this. I think I am just going to die here. Why would I even try if I am going to die?
So he stopped swimming and trying to come out of the pot. That frog drowned in the buttermilk. But the other frog refused to give up. He kept on moving, he kept on swimming, he kept on moving around and struggling. Because of all this activity of this frog, the buttermilk started getting churned, and it led to the creation of butter in that buttermilk. That butter, it started floating on the buttermilk. That is what this another frog saw, and he jumped on that butter and out of the pot. That way, because of his struggle and continuous effort, he was able to save his life. Moral of the story: never give up your effort and fight up to the last minute, and you will always succeed and achieve your goal.
The name of the story is Mango Char.
A boy named Keshav was wandering around, and suddenly he comes across Bholu. Bholu is an illiterate villager who knew how to perform magic. Every day, Bholu would go into the forest, stand under a mango tree, and utter a magic charm. The tree would immediately fill with fruits. The next moment, the mangoes would ripen, and then they would fall to the ground. Bholu would collect them, eat some delicious mangoes, and distribute the rest among his neighbors who were very poor. Keshav was amazed and fell at Bholu's feet. He begged him to teach him the charm. The man reluctantly agreed, but warned him.
You must never use the charm to satisfy your greed. Moreover, the charm will only work as long as you do not tell a lie.
As soon as Keshav was back in his village, he repeated the magic charm several times a day, and he collected large quantities of delicious mangoes. Then he sold these mangoes in the market, and in a few months, he became very rich. The king heard of this miracle. He called Keshav to his palace and asked him,
Where did you learn your charm?
Keshav was very proud and did not confess that he had learnt it from a man of a lower caste. He replied to the king,
I learned it after much study under a group of great scholars in a famous faraway university.
The king said,
Well, perform the miracle in front of us.
The king, his family, and a crowd of ministers and officers followed Keshav into the royal orchard. Keshav selected a big mango tree and he recited the magic charm. But nothing happened because he had told a lie. Greatly humiliated, Keshav confessed the truth to the king. The king said,
You have been ungrateful to your teacher out of greed. Go and apologize to him, and perhaps the charm will work again.
The young man did so, but the magic charm did not work ever again because Keshav had misused it to satisfy his greed.
The moral of the story is
honesty is the best policy.
The name of the story is Greedy Dog. Once upon a time, there was a stray dog who was roaming about in search of food. He moved around a lot, but he did not find anything to eat. Rambling about, he came to a butcher's shop. There, to his surprise, he saw a bone which was just laying outside the shop. Dog was very happy, and he thought to himself,
Now I have something to eat. Oh, such a nice bone. Oh, I'm going to have good time now.
So, he took that bone and there was a little meat on it. So he took up the bone and ran away. He wanted to find a safe place to enjoy that bone and the little meat that was on that bone. He found a place under the tree. He started chewing the bone. He finished up all the meat that was there on the bone, and what all left was just the bare bone in the dog's mouth. Soon, he became a little thirsty. But at the same time, he did not want to let go the bone from his mouth. With the bone in the mouth, dog came to that stream, and he actually climbed up on a bridge over it. The dog decided to just lean down and drink some water, and while doing so, he saw his reflection in the water. He saw that there was another dog in the stream, and he saw that there was another bone in that dog's mouth. This dog got greedy and thought to himself,
I want that bone. I want that bone. I want that bone.
As soon as he opened the mouth to bark and to grab that bone in the stream, the bone which was there in his mouth fell down in the stream. Immediately as the bone fell down, the reflection in the stream got washed away. And that is when this dog realized he lost the bone he had in his mouth too. By realizing that, dog felt very sad. But it was in vain because he had already lost the boat. So, the moral of the story is, don't be greedy for the things you don't have, and take care of the things which you already have.
The name of the story is Effect of True Care. Once upon a time, there was a village. In that village, there lived a farmer called Mahadu. Mahadu had a cow which gave him lots of milk. He sold that milk and he became quite rich. Unfortunately, once that cow fell ill and she stopped giving milk to Mahadu. Mahadu thought that the cow will never recover from her illness and he left her in the dense forest. Cow, because of her nature, returned back to Mahadu's place. But then Mahadu drove her away by giving her severe beating. The cow was sad. She was wandering around in the village. By then, Chandu, another farmer in that village, saw this cow. When he saw that cow, he realized that she was beaten and driven away by somebody. Chandu brought that cow to his home and gave her food and the medicines for her wounds. Gradually, that cow started recovering. Chandu took good care of that cow, and so she became healthy again. After a few days, that cow gave birth to a beautiful calf. And as she gave birth to that calf, she started giving milk again. Chandu, after keeping enough milk for the calf, started selling the remaining milk in the market. That way, he started getting some money as well. As the days passed, he kept on selling milk in the market and he also became rich. Soon, Mahadu realized that Chandu was making money from the cow that he drove away. So, he came back to Chandu and said,
Oh Chandu, you know, this is my cow. It was with me for a while. So give that back to me.
On that, Chandu said,
Oh Mahadu, I know that you drove this cow away after beating her severely. I was the one who brought her back, gave her food, gave her love, gave her care, and now she is healthy. You want my cow back? No, I'm not going to give it to you.
Mahadu took this case to the Gram Panchayat of that village. The judges of the Panchayat called in for both Mahadu and Chandu. And also they told Chandu to bring the cow along. As Mahadu and Chandu stood in front of the Panchayat, the judges told that it is very difficult to decide on this case because technically both were the owners of the cow. So they decided on a trick. They said, let that cow decide whom she wants to be with. So they made Chandu and Mahadu stand a little far from each other and they released the cow from the rope. As the cow was released, she started going to Chandu. And as she reached out to Chandu, she started licking his hand and his feet. It appeared to all the villagers and the judges that she was very fond of Chandu. It was quite obvious then that the cow has to stay with Chandu because Chandu was the one who cared for her. So, the moral of the story is, if you give care and love to others, it will always come back to you. The name of the story is The Effect of the Company You Keep. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom. In that kingdom, there was a king who had a son. The son was spoiled because of the bad company he kept of his friends. The king warned him that if he keeps the same company, he would also develop the bad habits of his company, and when he grows up and becomes a king, he would not be a good ruler. But his son did not give attention to his father. One day, there came a saint in the kingdom. He was known for his wisdom and knowledge. So, this king approached the saint and told him about his son. He said to the saint,
"Oh great saint, I don't know what to do with my son. I'm so unhappy and sad. He keeps bad company, and I'm worried that he might become a bad king when he grows up. Can you do something about it?"
The saint said to the king,
"Oh king, send him to me. Let me see what I can do for your son. Don't worry."
Next day, king sent his son to this saintly figure. When son arrived, he said to the saint,
Oh, saint, please don't tell me to leave my friends. I'm not going to do that whatever you say. I'm not going to say that whatever you say. So, please don't even try.
Saint smiled and said,
No, son. I'm not going to tell you to leave your friends. I'm just going to show you a small experiment.
By listening to the word experiment, son got interested in what saint had to say. Saint took 3 pots of glass and put it in front of the prince. In the one pot, saint put a powder of charcoal. In the second pot, saint put a powder of chalk. And in the third pot, the saint put the powder of sandalwood. And then he asked the son to pour little water in each of that pot. As this prince put that water inside those pots, he observed that as soon as he put water into the pot which had the powder of charcoal, water turned black. As soon as he put water inside the pot which had the powder of chalk, water became white. And as soon as he put some water inside the pot which had the powder of sandalwood, water got mixed with sandalwood and started smelling really well. After this, saint said to the prince,
What do you understand from this, son?
prince had got the message. He said, "O Saint, now I know I am like water, and I am going to adopt and absorb the qualities of the company that I keep."
Although water which was put in all three pots was same, it just changed according to what it came in contact with. I got my lesson, O Lord Saint, and I will make sure that from this day onward, I will keep only good company with me.
Hearing this, the saint said,
"Oh Prince, I am glad that you got your lesson. Please remember, when you grow old and become king, it is not just your life, but the life of the people inside your kingdom, which is to be looked after. And that is why the king of the kingdom needs to have lot of qualities and learn to keep good company."
So, moral of the story is, always make sure what company you keep, because that company will ultimately decide your character.